And good morning from Bern, Switzerland. It's the Swiss capital. We're here at the curling Bahn in Bern. This morning's feature game is Wranå from Sweden, Jentsch from Germany. I'll go through the lineup.
I have Fanny Schoberg playing lead, Almeida Deval at second, Jenny Volin at third, and Isabel Wranå skipping. My name's Al Moore, joined with Armin Harder.
And we've got Pia-Lisa Scholl, Josephine Obermann, who's playing third, Annalena Jentsch, who's playing second, Rox Daniela Jentsch at skip position. And this is Champions Tour coverage in association with World Curling Television. We've been here all weekend showing live games from the 49th International Bern Ladies Cup, or Damen Cup in Swiss.
What you're looking at right now is last stone draw for the right to have last stone in the first end. And Wranå's team come up short, so that will mean Jentsch's red stone there on the button will earn them last stone in the first end. So we'll get underway shortly here. This is a B road game.
Yes, both these teams having lost the Wranå just losing the A final to Tiransoni.
Also Mädels, dann achten wir gar nicht auf die, machen unser Ding, reden viel, bleiben da. Denkt dran, jeder Stein mit Leidenschaft. Wirklich nach Gefühl, den bringen wir immer dahin, wo wir ihn hinhaben wollen, okay? Ja. Auf geht's.
Teams discussing their first end tactics.
Genau.
Wranå will throw first, and she's indicated she wants it in the top of the forefoot.
So this is a B semi-final. The loser will drop down to C, and the winner of this game will go to the B final, taking place at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
The other B games on the ice is Muirhead of Scotland versus the current European champions Moiseeva from Russia, Sigfridsson from Sweden versus Roth from USA, and Binyu Wang from China is playing Christensen, also from USA. So USA strong showing so far this week, two teams in the B semifinals. So Jentsch not wanting to get into too much of a offensive game, could have called the corner guard, but elected to play a defensive shot, maybe let her team get their bearings for the first end, and a lot of teams will now try to blank the first end and try and get their two in the even end, the second end. That's tactics kind of made famous by Rachel Holman, who's been doing that quite a bit. Just blank the first, take two in the second to establish control of the game. And that looks like what the end plan is for Team Jentsch. And Wranå, recognizing that, instead of calling this one in the house, is called a guard that can't be removed. And going to force her opponent to play a little more aggressively.
Pia-Lisa Scholl trying to come around that center guard. One looks very nice.
Well, line and weight, good communication down the ice about the line and the speed. And absolutely couldn't carry that one down any better than where it is. It's perfect. I think Wranå likes to play aggressively. She could play a run back on this stone and open it up, but she's gonna try and play a corner freeze. I don't think she's even in her youth, she's not afraid to put stones in play. And they're currently leading the Swedish Super League right now, which means they're ahead of Sigfridsson and Hasselborg. Quite an accomplishment for such a young team. They traveled to Canada earlier this year and placed second in the Oakville Fall Classic Canada. So they're really trying to get a lot of experience as they develop into a top-notch world contender. Jentsch recently won the Riga International Bonspiel and also competed at Europeans and qualified Germany for the World Championships, which will take place later this year in Beijing.
Go, 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 go. Ganz raus. Go, go, go. Okay. Yeah,
So that was rather wide and perhaps a little heavy.
Yep.
Gives Wranå the chance now to hit and roll on this and get her own shot buried behind, trying to force Jentsch into taking 1 point. Nice solid mechanics by these players. It's going to overroll and roll to the open side. Team Jentsch will now try and make contact with the opposition stone in the house and roll their own shooter behind the guard. Brusher's working hard to hold the stone straight. Maybe just a little bit light on the weight that was asked for, and so the stone over curled a little bit and rolled out of the house. This gives Team Wranå a chance to place a great shot behind that yellow guard and get it in position, and it's their own yellow guard, so that won't leave an easy run back for Team Jentsch. These players on Team Wranå are all under the age of 20. They're all 19 years old, so they have a lot of potential moving forward. A little bit light. Unfortunately, that guards are now staggered, which means almost impossible to run them back should Team Jentsch be able to get one in behind those. So a little bit of a mistake there. Splitting them wouldn't have been too bad. This is Josie Oberman.
19. Spielbremsen. Noch ist durch.
Sweeper's not touching it at all. Must be the speed is at least to the spot wanted. A little heavy. Wranå's going to try and get that one out of the house. Does hang on at the back, so potentially could be counter if Team Wranå can't get one in buried. First end, teams are trying to figure out the speed of the ice. This is the second chance of the row for this shot for Jenny. So she should have a pretty good idea how fast it is. Speed was pretty good, but maybe not quite out to the target. Real opportunity now for Team Jentsch. If they can get a hit and roll partway in behind and put a lot of pressure on Wranå without last stone to get out of trouble. hit that on the outside, wanted to hit it on the inside, so let Team Wranå off the hook. Now Team Wranå will be trying to get one in there and steal this end. They should be starting to get a pretty good idea of the read here. They've played a lot of shots on this side of the ice.
90.
Nicely done. That's why they pay her the big bucks. Skip come through with the shot.
Jetzt muss aufpassen, dass der nicht da hinten hängen bleibt. Aber ich denke, das ist egal. Jetzt muss er den hinteren Satz erstmal wegkriegen.
Da trifft, nee.
Ja, doch, eigentlich schon so ein bisschen hier, dass uns
Ja, gerade so, dass wir nur wegstehen, gell?
Mir wäre schon weg. Lieber liege ich davor, wir schießen nachher uns.
Aber ich glaube, selbst wenn der hängen bleibt, liegt der noch besser. Aber ja, das ist nicht. Also ein bisschen.
Team Jentsch looking to double peel these guards and roll the shooter out of the way. Give themselves a chance to score a point on the last one. Really not much other alternatives here. Didn't get the second one and left the guard there. That'll give Team Wranå a chance to put another one in top of the forefoot. If they could get one half around the top Yellowstone, top forefoot, it'll make it really difficult for Team Jentsch to score. I believe Danielle had a little bit of an injury around Christmas time and she was out of commission for a couple of weeks, but back at it now and looks fit and ready to play. I think she's just playing the guard. Made a nice one, but I think a much more aggressive shot would have been if she could have come around that top yellow one to top of the forefoot half covered. I think she would have had a good chance to steal 1 or 2 points. What she's left is an angle raise, which Team Jentsch is now lining up. And if they do make it, they'd get a 2. Being in the top of the 8-foot would have taken this angle raise away for 2 points. It would have maybe left it for 1. Sometimes I don't think teams see what they might leave before they make their call. So in this case, even though it's a difficult shot, there is an opportunity for 2 for Team Jentsch. Trying to contact that redstone on the right side as we look at it now and drive it onto the yellow stone near the button.
Last stone here in the first end. Jentsch trying to score 2. Ends up giving up the steal of 1. Wranå takes a early 1-0 lead with that steal here in the first end. Coming to you live from the International Bern Damen Cup here in Bern, Switzerland.
Diese Längen sind einfach so
Ja,
fernab von
sicher die
allem.
Länge. Ja, ja. Wir müssen Ja, extra die Wahnsinn, Länge, weil das- die hat natürlich den Draw gebracht.
Klassischer Fehlstart, wenn ich zweimal Pils spielen muss
Ja,
im
ja,
ersten End.
auf jeden Fall. Nee, versuchen wir die Längen besser.
Eller tvärtom. Yes. Tidfart runt viktigt. Fyra. Eh, 85-90 typ.
85.
We're back with the second end. Berlin Champions Tour coverage all weekend here from Bern.
Lite tajt!
My name is Armin Harder. With me is national Swiss coach Al Moore.
Bak 4.
Good day, everyone.
Bak 8. Bak 4.
Kom och snacka.
10. Lite långt.
So these teams,
Sakta.
since 2015, have faced each other
Bra Fanny.
3 times
Bra koll Jenny.
in Champions Tour events. And Wranå has a 2-1 lead. Jentsch having won once against her.
4,9. Aufpassen, ist noch gerade. Jetzt Körper.
So not a lot to choose from. Two teams. Obviously, experience and age, a bit of a difference.
Yeah, Wranå's only 19, all of them 19, but have gained a lot of experience. I think they've played in a lot of tournaments over the last number of years, and they were, I believe, been Swedish junior champions for a few years, and they are once again, I believe, going to be representing Sweden at the World Junior Championships.
So they've got, I believe, 2 more years to be able to represent.
Yeah, they could
Sweden, eh?
bring home a pile of medals in the next couple of years.
Jenny bara, Jenny bara.
Mellan, hake.
Well, this may be the team of the future in Sweden.
Bra dig.
Bakom. 10.
Trodde den var längre än sådär. Sorry.
Bra Fanny.
They have a very long career ahead of them.
Den curlar inte upp.
So that guard didn't quite get to the desired location. So it left the stone in the house available. I think Team Jentsch has just called the freeze on it.
6.
Perhaps a little better call might be to move it off the button and increase the size of the scoring area. You have to think that if you make the freeze here, your opponent's going to freeze right back on you, and it's going to be really difficult to score 2 points.
Good.
So already the scoring area is shrinking quickly.
Okej.
Tidfart.
Ja,
For
95.
those learning some strategy or tactics at home, probably a better call would have been to move that yellow one, tap it back a little bit and roll to the open, and create a larger scoring area.
Wow!
Bak 4. Med snart.
Bak 4, bak 8 nästan.
Okej. Bak 4. Då curlar vi allt vi kan då.
Bak 4.
Med
Backa
nu.
nu.
Ja! Okej.
She wanted to really stop in front of that red stone to block it. Gone a little deep and now left a little bit of a pocket, although I think Team Jentsch is going to have to move those stones around a little bit.
Als Takeout würde ich den spielen. Wirklich als
So
Takeout.
on the order of merit, the world team ranking, both these teams are fairly close together. Wranå ranked at 74th. Jentsch ranked at 80th. So
Not much to choose there.
that's for this season only. It's year to date. So pretty close.
Ja, 40!
teams have lost one game in this event and won 3 against the E group. Wranå certainly got an advantage in the force efficiency. It's forcing a team to
1 point.
to 1 point with a whopping 86%.
That's very impressive.
That's 20% higher than Jentsch. Although both teams struggling with their hammer efficiency, that's scoring 2 or more points in a game, both at 25%.
And you saw probably one of the reasons for that is earlier Daniela Jentsch's call to freeze in the forefoot. Well, you want to have as much room as you can to try and score your 2 points. And when some opposition is sitting near the button, it's early in the end, it's certainly much better to tap the stones out of the forefoot area. Even if you leave yourself wide open in the 8 foot, it forces your opponent to hit that stone in the 8 foot. And if you've tapped the first stone back, then on the next one, you've got a lot more room to get around guards. Sometimes I think teams get a little impatient trying to score your early stones. The early stones in the end are really just setup stones. Most of the top teams will score 2 enders using the last 3 stones at the end and consider the first 5 stones just setup stones.
And Alina Jentsch, 2 sisters here. Also come out of a curling family. Roland Jentsch, also a European champion himself, father of these 2.
That was another century, wasn't it?
Well, it was. I played with Roland a couple of
Yeah,
seasons.
that's what I thought. Another century.
When I lived in Germany for a while.
So things not going Team Jentsch's way. They were trying to come through that hole there, but of course they hit the guard. And now Team Wranå can put a 3rd stone in behind the guard and really start to put some pressure on Team Jentsch. Nice looking line on this one. Great looking speed too. Perfect stone.
Starting to look very lemony in the middle,
Yeah,
as you said
yes,
yesterday.
not very many. And it needs to be cherries if you're looking on Team Jentsch. So she's going to try in the run back, trying to drive that stone in front of the house, the red stone in front of the house near the center line, straight back onto the yellows in the forefoot and try and spread them around a little bit.
Ja, halb hier. Voll noch. Ja, halt! Muss er bleiben. Weiter! Weiter! Oh.
Good.
You see only 1 brusher there brushing. You wonder why maybe there wasn't 2. The curlers believe that they can affect the line of the stone by choosing which side of the stone to sweep on. And they were trying to hold that stone a little bit straighter. And they believe if the one on the side with the curl starts to brush, that'll help it curl. So they'll quite often just brush with 1 brusher to hold the line straighter. With these new pads that have come into effect this year, see everybody's got the same color yellow pads. That was mandated by the World Curling Federation after a curling summit earlier this year. These brushes don't really make the stones curl as much or hold them as straight. But after last year, teams got used to doing this 1 brusher on each side to impact it, and they're still in that habit. I mean, watch
There's still a slight effect.
There may be a slight effect. It's really hard to see, though. Like, the number of games I've watched, the teams that are trying to make it curl, it's minimal.
If there wasn't, the brooms would be effective at all, 0, right?
Yeah. There's still some effect, but very minimal.
Well, in
It could be.
in the game that goes millimeters, not necessarily inches, but millimeters.
Minimal might be all you need.
Yeah. But with 2 sweepers, you're now dragging the rock further, which wasn't the discussion last year. Was with 2 sweepers, you're actually slowing the rock down, possibly.
Yeah. These new brush pads are much less gritty than previous year's models, so they don't scratch the ice the same degree, which I'm sure makes the ice makers really happy. And as a result, they don't leave a path on the ice for the stone to follow, or scratch the ice so much that the stone slows down.
Pebble doesn't break down as quick. That's pebble being the water drops on the ice, very fine water drops. So there's very little contact between actually rock and ice. There's a very small running surface on these rocks, about 5.5 millimeters in width, and it's running on pebbles, so that's why they run so smoothly. If it was just flat ice,
You'd have to be a monster to be able to throw it down the other end. If it was flat ice and a flat stone, it wouldn't go very far.
and we're seeing here why Team Wranå has a very high force efficiency if she's lying like this all the time.
So Jentsch considering either the hit and roll, she can hit and roll behind the center guard, or she could actually play the freeze.
Ja. Weil das Eis für deine Guard hat das.
Okay.
The hit and roll is maybe a little more of a defensive shot, so she's not looking at 4 stones when she throws her last one, which can be a little bit unnerving. However, the more aggressive call would be throw the draw freeze to those 2 stones over on the left side. And I think that's what she's chosen to do.
Ich finde den schon auch besser, aber das stimmt, die Länge ist halt so ein bisschen schwierig noch. Ja. Aber ich würde mal 75, 80 anpeilen. Also Pia war weiter außen, mit 80 hat gepasst. 80 muss passen.
She could go around the center guard as well. However, that wouldn't provide any support, and perhaps Wranå could get at it.
If she locks this in there now, Jentsch locks this in there, Wranå's going to be forced to go around the center guard.
Yep. The ice conditions from game to game are pretty similar, so once you've played 3 or 4 games on this ice, you should have a pretty good idea of the speed of the ice.
Great curl here all weekend. Good time, running times. Great job.
Line's perfect if they can get it there.
So weiter geht, noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück. Weiter.
Okay.
Looks like it's come up a little short. It looks like there's still 2 yellows
Well,
counters.
You'll see Wranå going around the center guard now anyways, right?
And she probably want to come just to the top 4 foot.
Ja, jag säger.
Jag tror 95. Ja, det tycker jag.
I'm having a second look just to confirm that they're sitting 2 points.
Kör den. Jämn höjd med våra...
Rather irrelevant to this shot.
Jämnar här.
Sitting one pretty
Yeah, I
well
don't know.
dictates you're going to.
I think even if the red was closer, it wouldn't change the call.
That's right.
They'd like to have this one just full 4 foot, maybe almost full 4 foot, so that if Jentsch does make a play on it and hit it out, it wouldn't be shot. Jentsch's shot wouldn't be a shot stone. The one on the side of the 4 foot, yellow on the side of 4 foot would remain shot. So just trying to get this one into the top 4 foot area behind the center guard. Just right, perfect. And that's probably going to force Jentsch to go the other way with an in turn.
Pass in halb.
Halb, okay. Ja.
The double's there, huh?
Also halt entweder einen langsamen für Hit and Stay
You
oder
can see
wobei Hit and Stay
half of it.
And the double would be for
Third of it.
only for 1 point. She has to make a triple actually to score 2.
Well, she might just come off that and
Yeah, it doesn't have to take that 3rd yellow stone out. Just has to move it a couple of centimeters.
certainly there again.
nicht gehen.
Jentsch with an opportunity here to, with a tough shot, to make 2 points. But we see why.
Has to be sure to contact that first yellow one. Be a disaster if she was to ever hit the guard.
Eben, auf jeden Fall, ja. Sicher den.
She'd end up giving up a steal of 3.
Ja.
So I hit about a quarter stone here. Quarter stone on the left as we look at it. Shooter will bounce over onto the other two yellows and possibly get 2 points if she can move both of those other yellows.
Jag visste inte riktigt marginalen, men
First order of business was to make contact on the shot stone. That doesn't sound good.
That doesn't sound good at all. She is all over the court.
sag mal,
And
Költen Stein.
disaster shot.
Der ist direkt weggezogen.
Költen, er ist da vorne auch so weggezogen.
2 for sure, 2 yellows for sure, and I think they'll have a quick look at this, and
Ich habe das Eis von hier gegeben.
Nicht mehr auf der Stein mehr
I
Köln.
think it's going to be a 3 count, but
No, it's okay.
Aber den
yeah,
Piel ist er auch so
they've agreed.
weggezogen.
Still a 3.
So constant pressure here by the Swedish team.
Den Achter tun wir weg jetzt schon.
Giving up another steal for Wranå
Weg jetzt, der ist dann
with
viel auf.
3. That makes it 4-0 after 2 ends of play. Live here from Bern.
Ja, ja. Und
Aber das
tauschen wir
komplette
beide.
Set.
Genau.
Ja. 7,
Ja.
8.
7, 8, ja.
Ja,
Bei
schon.
meinem Draw, Leute. Das, ihr müsst, wenn ihr eine Auflage habt, den da drauf
Dann muss das
knüppeln.
sicher drauf.
Wir
ja.
müssen was
Han
abhängen.
kanske vi har viel zu oft. 90. Jag kör runt.
Ja.
90. Ja. Lite tajt! Åtta! Lite tajt! Håll linjen in. Sätt i linjen nu. 8. Bra linje nu. Ja, den ska bra nu. 4. Bara stanna. 4. Bak 4 nästan. 4. Oh, bara 4. 10. 4. Borde vara bra.
Vad är det för stil på den? 0,53.
13,93, 14.
Men 14 till 10
We're back here with
här var vi.
the third end.
Vad vi hade.
Curling Champions Tour coverage continues all weekend long from the International Bern Damen Cup here in the Bern Curling Almend. You've spent a lot of time here in the last 5 years, Al. 6 years almost.
Yeah, this is like my second home.
Also! Auf geht's, so weiter geht's. So weiter
You were
geht's. Nah ran.
technical trainer and national women's coach for Switzerland for the
Go,
last
go, go!
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, yes. With all that success, Al, and the great job you've done for Swiss curling. I mean,
Jag kan
3 in
tänka
a
mig
row.
det är ganska tidigt i matchen ändå.
4 in the last 5 years, gold medals, world championships. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not too bad. 4 or 4 would have been better, but
Out of 5.
you've got to give other countries a chance. Yeah, we've got a couple of European titles in there as well, one with the men and one with the women. So
Nära hake!
Fin linje.
Hake!
Wow, wow.
I think the level of curling all across Europe and even in Asia now is really getting much better. The quality of all the players now. There's no such thing as an easy game anymore.
Har ingen linje, dra in den.
So what's Jentsch got to do different here to get back into this game now? This,
Well, obviously
Wranå
they have
seems to be firing on all cylinders.
Obviously, they have to execute a little bit better, but I think Daniela has to open up the scoring area a little more.
Ja.
So she's going to play a corner guard. This one, she's going to play a split. Team Wranå are going to start peeling after this shot, and it's going to be difficult. So Team Jentsch has to play some soft shots and keep their shooter around. They've hit a number of guards. They've hit and rolled out. Maybe playing some freezes into the forefoot when they should have been playing some tap backs to open up the scoring area. But there's certainly lots of time. If all they need to do basically is get 2 points and hold Wranå to 1 every time they have hammer, if they have hammer 4 more times and get 4 twos, that's 8 points. And if they hold Wranå to 1 in the other 3 ends, the other 2 ends, Wranå would have 6. So they don't have to go crazy. They just have to score 2. Score 2, give them 1, score 2, give them 1, score 2, give them 1, and you win the game.
Yeah. With a hammer efficiency of 25%, though,
It's going to have to be better than that today.
it's got to be better than that.
They almost have to be 100% from here on in, at least 3 out of 4 times for sure. There's a big miss from that's up there. It's just out of our picture. There it is. But Wranå's going to keep her foot on the pedal. She is sitting shot stone, and she's going to guard this up.
It was Almeida Duval throwing seconds rocks. Team Wranå.
Of course, the more stones in play, the more opportunities Team Jentsch has to use those stones to generate some offense. I think I'd play the split on the front one again. Hit that on the center line side, as she's indicating there. Probably need almost hack weight on this one.
Gleiche Länge.
So she'd like to sit 3 red stones in the house and 2 yellow ones, and then there'll be a series of takeouts, and she's hoping that after those are all done that she can score a couple of points.
So Wranå, they played last night to qualify for this game, winning last night at around 8 o'clock, and Jentsch losing that A final to Tiransoni, playing back-to-back here. Just got off the ice. It's a very short rest, very short turnaround.
They're young, they're athletic. This is what they live for.
That first game should have been actually a warm-up for them.
Yeah, just a warm-up.
There's a lot of games that these teams put in. They put in 10 games, possibly.
This weekend, yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, so you have to be fit.
2 hours a game. It's 20 hours on the ice for a 4-day period. Really got to pace yourself.
It's a lot of brush strokes if you're a front-end player. Yeah. These teams now, of course, all would have their own personal fitness programs. They have physiotherapists. Most of them have come with coaches here. They'll be certainly have some nutrition training. No stone, as we say, left unturned. So a little unorthodox play from Wranå, rather than with a 4-point lead peeling everything. They're just cluttering up the house and making it tough on
Jerry Bowen, coach of the Swedish team.
Oder über den gelben.
Nur bis hier hinterschieben.
Done a really good job with
Ja,
these
nicht
young
noch
girls.
einen dritten gelben ins Haus schieben. Wir gehen schon über Rot. Hackweight.
They're going to try and play hack weight and move this red stone onto the yellow-red-yellow combination, and perhaps move that back yellow one out of play. If they do it, it'll make the one yellow stone left in the house pretty lonely.
Josephine Oberman. Coaching the Jentsch team is Thomas Lips. He's actually Swiss. There we go.
Okay, they've moved it, but they haven't moved it far enough. It's still 2 yellows in there now.
Swedes lying with 2 yellows now.
Yeah, that had to be much more weight than it was.
Yeah. Thomas Lips, as I was saying, coach of this German team. Former coach of the Russian team, Sidorova, and coached Miriam Ott as a team coach in 2012
when they won the World Championships.
So lots of experience there.
Wranå's now going to hit this 3rd shot and sit 3 yellows in the house. think Team Jentsch aren't playing enough weight on some of these moving shots. Here's a break though. Complete miss. Complete miss by Jenny Vollen. She won't be happy with that. The angles of the stones are not favoring Team Jentsch. But she's got it in the pocket, and she might be able to take that yellow stone at the back of the forefoot out and sit shot stone.
A big shot here for Josephine Oberman. Shake something up for her team here.
The red one's in the house, and the yellow one is now wide open. So Wranå's going to be very careful. She's going to have to really sit two, and not set up a double. She's talking about playing a guard right now. I don't know if I'd be doing that. I'd really like to get another one of my stones in the house.
Where do you put it though? Huh? Freeze it down to the.
You could put it on the right side. The left, as we're looking at it now, come around. There's a wide guard out there, but all you need to do is get it in the 8-foot area there.
She could play the out turn draw, but she has to go out very wide there.
Yeah, they have played out there. She's playing the in-turn. I think she's just playing the guard. And if she doesn't execute this properly, there could be a chance for 4. And if she does execute it properly, there could still be a chance for 3 using that front yellow. I think they like the line.
It's got to stop now.
And overcurl a little bit, but I think that pretty well guards the one in the house. Judged by the amount at center line, you'll see that's pretty well undercover. So there's. They could get that with hack weight, but they'd have to really, really be tight to that guard. They've got to use the red stone on the outside for 4 points, or they could run the yellow one back and double off the yellow one, or they could use the one just throwing.
The danger of this yellow one, if she gets that wrong, she's giving up a steal of 2.
Wie schnell waren Danis gerade?
Wie schnell war meiner eben? 16.
So they're just looking at all the possibilities of which run back to play. I don't think one's any harder than the other. So when I have that situation, I'll always choose the one that's going to give me the best result.
Ja.
Und dann einfach hoffen, dass das Beste hält, oder?
Ja, das macht glaube ich.
Den machen wir jetzt. So schwer.
Show holding the broom there for Jentsch.
Wo muss sie treffen genau?
This is almost a must make here, eh? No?
Well, I think she has to score. Whether she scores more than one remains to be seen. The difficulty with hitting the yellow onto the yellow is the one that she raises back could go over onto that red on the side, a catcher as we call it, and
Wir müssen den Gegenspielergriff haben. Das ist echt tragisch. Ich habe noch keinen einzigen Stein gebracht, weil ich auch keinen Stein habe, den ich bringen kann.
Auf geht's. Okay.
Einfach Stein für Stein denken.
Jag ger dig lite mer is än vad jag haft innan nu, men jag tror det är samma fart.
Ja. Håll den. Lite hårt.
4.
Håll den lite.
Topp 4.
10. Bara en i då, bara en i.
4.
Sacka lite.
Hårt. Det är någonting konstigt med kurvan. Är det bra Fanny?
85 fick jag.
Ja, jag klockade 0.
so here you are back in end 4.
Al, you want to take over my job? Go ahead.
Oh, good.
No, go ahead, please.
I thought you were sleeping there. I heard some Zeds coming from your side.
We're back here in the 4th end. Curling Champions Tour coverage of the Bern Diamond Cup,
Auf geht's. Go, go, go,
49th
so nah ran,
edition.
es geht.
coming here from the 8-sheet facility in the Bern Curling, Almend. And this production here is in conjunction or in cooperation with the World Curling Federation. Providing these fine pictures, live channel from Sweden. Doing a great job as always. Of course, they're very pleased to be covering a Swedish team.
The Team Jentsch is now going to have to go totally for it. They've only got 5 ends remaining. They'll probably get last stone 3 of those ends. They're going to get last stone in the 4th, 6th, and 8th end. They're certainly going to have to score 2 in each one of those ends. That would give them 6 points. And they're probably going to have to steal one of the other ends, which give them 7 points. And then hold Wranå to 1 in the end that Wranå has hammer. And then they'd win 7-6.
So one of the reasons here Wranå's doing so well, the lead is playing a pretty solid game. Those rocks are always in the right positions, it seems.
Yep.
And I think when you're opening up an end, that's dictating the end.
Lead stones are so important now. If the lead can put their 2 stones in great position, it puts a lot of pressure on the other team.
I don't think she's missed a shot yet. They could have left that short. She wouldn't have been able to hit it. No, she would have been able to hit it anyways, right?
Yeah, she could take it out no matter whether it was short or not. Now I think you'll see Team Wranå switch modes here and go into a peeling game with a 5-0 lead. I don't think you'll see them play.
Last end,
yeah, I don't think you'll see them play that way in the again.
Just make it all disappear.
Yeah, make as many red ones disappear. Take 1 red stone out each time. And don't save the shooter. They don't want the shooter to stay around because that's just stones that Team Jentsch could use. So they're really hoping just to hit and roll away. But they did hit and stay in the middle. Good position. So I think Team Jentsch, their job is now to, rather than play doubles, they should start tapping those stones with back ring weight, push them into the back of the 8-foot. Trying to build a wall back behind the back of the 8-foot that they can freeze on later on. 2 points here gets them back in the game. They don't need to score 3. 2 is enough to get them back in the game. And you usually don't get back in the game throwing takeouts.
Nope.
You want to save those yellow stones. Oh, make the nice ring around the back of the 8-foot with yellow stones, and then you put one in front, and where's it going to go? This makes the job pretty easy for Team Wranå. They're just going to start hitting stones. They're actually talking about taking their own out of play here, and also the red stone. Go between them. Less stones in play, the better as far as they're concerned.
So our coverage will continue here at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then again at 8:30 tonight, I believe. And 3 more games tomorrow, quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. So a lot more action to come this weekend as we get down to the crunch here. Nicely removed there.
They were hoping to also spill the shooter out too.
Teams are starting to face elimination here. We've got 4 C games going on out there, and that means loser out. USA is in a B group game against Sigurdsson. Muirheads and Moiseva, also a B game.
Moiseva currently just scored a 2 in the 4th end to lead that one 3-2. Sigurdsson is leading USA Roth 2-1. Roth has hammer in the 4th end. Binyu Wang and USA Christensen are tied at 1, playing the 4th end.
And that's also a B game.
And those
so
are all B
the
games.
loser of that will drop down to C. Pretty good draw here this this year again. China represented, Japan represented, USA, Canada represented.
Finland's here, Sweden.
A lot of European teams.
Yep.
I counted at least 4 former world champions this morning, maybe more actually.
For him.
Eddie, Eve, Elina. Chup. Did I miss anybody?
No, I think you got them all. And a number of European champions here as well.
Of course, most of these teams are also have represented or will represent their nation at European and world levels.
And February is generally the month for national championships. So those will all start probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks for most of these teams that will be competing to represent their country at a world championship. So this is a great way to iron out those few kinks before heading into your national championship. Get your game plans in place. Make sure that your plans are all working.
And get some great competition on good ice surface.
Sorry.
Well, there's a bit of a break for Jentsch.
Yep, she's got a corner guard. She's got one in the house, so opportunity for potentially a 3 here. If they can get one buried behind this corner guard.
I just needed to curl a little bit more and she would have had everything gone.
And assume that Wranå will hit the open one. And then put another one in behind the corner guard.
Josephine Overman.
Noch gar keine Linie. 8, 9. Können Sie einen tiefer nehmen, dann ganz hinter. Ganz hinter.
There's lots of room past the guard.
Yep. A lot of late curl on this ice, so they're trying to take it as far as they can. The more they take it, the more will curl. But I think they've left a good corner of that open. I think there's enough there still that...
Not much of a double though.
Okej. För då lär de inte få någon mer bak där eller?
Nej, med 30.
Ja. Chappen inte.
So it looks like she's going after that one.
And I think she's just trying to hit and roll over beside it. Hit this one and roll over into the full 4-foot. And then if Team Jentsch make a decision, if they make a play on it, of course, then group those stones together, she might be able to make a double on her last one. So I think this one she's trying to hit it on the early side, our right as we're looking at it, and roll over just to the corner of the 4-foot there. So they a little late getting on that one. They'd like to have rolled that over.
Well, for any interested in seeing any mixed doubles competition, we've got the Dutch Masters going on right now, and there's some streaming going on from there.
Well, is the prize in that cigars, a box of cigars, Dutch Masters cigars?
Well, Dutch being in the Netherlands. Well, no cigars. This is sports. We're so that's part of the mixed CCT mixed doubles tour going on, and that's going on this weekend also. Next weekend we'll be covering games from Hamburg. The men will be underway with the German Masters in Hamburg. The women, I guess you will also.
I'll be accompanying the women to Glasgow to play at the Glen Hill Ladies.
Yeah, CCT
at Braehead.
Ladies in Braehead. And we also have Sweden.
Ich denke auch, ja. Zur Mitte 45.
Jevla?
Yevla.
There you go.
Yevla. Keep wanting to pronounce that G with a hard G, but it's pronounced Yevla. Or so I was told by
Someone who should know.
someone who should know.
So a good opportunity here for two for
Pale Lindholm to be exact.
yeah. Bez here scouting all his teams in preparation for selection to the World Championship.
And the Swedes, once again, are having a great season. Hasselborg has really been tearing up the tour.
Yeah, she's not here this week. She's playing in the Continental Cup in Vegas. So we don't know what's going to happen there, but we know that whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Right. And Nicholas Edin also been having a great season.
Yep, winner of 2 Grand Slams.
So the
Go, go, go! Noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück, noch ein Stück. Okay, super gewischt.
so the Swedes always bringing up successful teams.
Mistake there by Jentsch. She's left that one short. She had to get second shot there.
Ja.
Ja.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ein Händel sonst ein bisschen, aber eigentlich
I think the shot for Wranå is it shot stone and just roll a little bit to the right. There will be no double, and Jentsch will be forced to 1 point. You can see it's fully exposed. You can see all of that stone. She'll be trying to hit that just a little bit on the early side and roll a little bit to the right to make sure there's no double possibility for Team Jentsch.
I think she'll want to keep her shooter too, because Jentsch can come down on top of that red one and
Yeah, she wanted to save the shooter. She wanted to just roll to the
remove that yellow and sit too. So.
You don't want to just roll to the side of the 4-foot here. Last stone for her.
Well, she called it right away, right out of her hand.
Must have been a little bit inside.
Sweepers are working it hard too.
Certainly don't want to hit her own.
Let's get past her own, and it has the nose hit. That double may now be there, Al.
Yeah, it could be a double.
On top of the red,
Hit the red one.
double it out and lay 2.
Red one onto the yellow, yellow onto the other yellow. Both yellows will go, and both 2 reds will stay.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far,
But she looks like she's not trying that, though.
just not trying that.
She's going to get her team on the board,
We hope.
we hope.
We certainly hope. She has certainly been struggling a bit this game.
Yeah, she's having difficulty finding the speed of the ice and managing her stones. These stones are brand new stones this year at Bern CBA.
They're running great. Jentsch throws her last rock here in the 4th end, looking to get on the scoreboard. And this is looking pretty good, I think.
Yep. Okay, sauber.
Yeah, here we go.
Boing.
She makes her one and gets onto the scoreboard with a score of 5-1 now after 4 ends of play at the halfway mark. Jentsch with a lot of work ahead of her. Get back into this game though. Live here from Bern, Switzerland.
Einfach weitermachen, Kinder.
Jetzt hören wir wenigstens noch gut auf, okay?
Genau, einfach schön auf die Draws
Ich habe jetzt einen
konzentrieren.
Stein gebracht, das ist schon mal super. Das ist schön.
Mal weiter.
Nachdem ich ja doch jetzt mal einen Stein hatte, den ich bringen konnte. Det är bra med den här, att det finns
Men vad
jättemycket
finns
toalett.
det? Toalett här?
Närmast vet jag inte.
Ja, det finns ingen på den här.
Nej, ingen här. Jag letar inte, jag fanns inte.
Ner.
And Curling Champions Tour coverage here from the International Bern Diamond Cup, Ladies Cup. As we see Lisa Scholl throwing her first rock here in the 5th end. Team Jentsch having an uphill climb here without the hammer. 4 more ends to go, but not impossible, Al.
No, they're just going to have to turn the scoreboard upside down. They lost the first 4 ends 5-1. They have to win the next 4 ends 5-1 themselves. difficult to do because they're starting that process without last stone. So I think you'll see Team Jentsch perhaps go a little bit hard for a steal here.
Penny Sjovert. Correctly. There's a guard up.
First guard now. Options for Team Wranå would have been to make a soft peel on the top one to split it off the center line, or perhaps to just draw to the open side to keep the play away from the center. But they've chosen to try and go around that stone. Team Jentsch will play another guard up there. They want to get as coverage of the center area as they can. So they're going to play another guard in the center.
Nur drüber, nur drüber.
Länge ist gut.
Nur drüber.
Muss ich jetzt drüber. Weiter.
Braucht. Ja.
Well executed. Good space between those two and in a straight line. So the double peel later on is going to be difficult.
Yep. Very good positioning on those.
Again, Wranå could play a soft clearing shot and just split one of the red stones off the center line without taking it out of play. With a 5-point lead, probably what I'd try.
So during this competition here, 4 games though, but steal efficiency from Jentsch has been higher than the Wranå, so 44% steal efficiency.
That's good.
Too bad.
That's a good number.
So there's hope.
So there you are, 4 stones in play after 4 stones, and that favors a team that's trying to steal.
Now the tapping starts.
Yeah.
Hack weight. Yeah.
We're playing hack. I don't know if they need quite that much. Just have to put. You don't really mind if you leave that opposition stone in the house, but you do want to push it past the tee line. At least maybe push it to the back of the 4-foot so you can freeze on it later. Hack weight suggests that you're going to probably push it into the back 12-foot.
Right. Ho.
Bumper.
Right.
Soll ich?
This is wide though. It needs to curl a lot. She needs to get at least a piece of it. No, she's got nothing.
Yeah.
That's not going to help her much. Unfortunate miss there for.
It was maybe a little bit heavy and a little bit wide of the target. And maybe perhaps a little too much ice given. There's a lot of finish with draw weight. However, as soon as you've got hack weight or more, the stones actually run fairly straight.
Anita Delval.
The peeling game starts for Team Wranå, and they're going to try and clear these center guards off the front. Hey, not bad.
No, that's pretty good, eh?
She cleared the second one off the center line, and the first one's very, very long now. I think they're going to try the same shot again. Hack weight.
Tighten up the ice a little bit.
A little bit less ice. As I said, as soon as you start throwing more than draw, you don't get that big finish.
Yep.
Los.
Yep.
Left eye dominant there.
A little side saddle in that delivery, as we say. Stone foot wasn't quite in the right spot.
Very nice shot there.
Okay.
Good shot. Said if you're trying to steal, you don't really want to take those stones out.
Yeah, I don't know why she swept that out the back.
Yeah, you really want to keep those stones around the back of the. In this case, since when you're trying to score with last stone, you want the stones at the back of the 8-foot that you can freeze to. Without last stones, you want those stones grouped around the back of the 4-foot so that you can sit in front of them. So you're thinking defense. I don't want the other team to get 3 or 4 points on me, but at this point, we're down 5-1. If they score, even if they score 1, they're up 6-1. So you may as well be a little more aggressive and try and use those opposition stones to your benefit.
Straightforward peel there. No center guards up anymore. One corner guard with a yellow rock.
And I'm thinking the yellow might even be shot, although I think they're relatively close.
And it's fully covered too. So.
Yeah. So yellow, there we are, good overhead view. Yellow is shot stone. Just a little bonus for Team Wranå to have that over there as an extra counter.
3, 3, 3. Oh, wow, wow.
This needs to be out front. It's running.
3, ja, 2, 3.
Oh, der ist ziemlich eng, der Überkreis.
Ja,
Well, that's slowing down now.
okay.
It's a good spot. We wanted that a little more on the other side of the center line just to make the double
Gleich draufgehen.
more difficult and to also rolling the shooter off. This one now they can clear that guard, roll the shooter off, and also pick out the one in the house. That would be the best of the best for them.
Ja! Anton! Ja,
Can you roll it?
Wow!
It's close.
She's got the double.
Fort, 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 fort.
Just hangs around in the back of the 12-foot.
Good shot. Really nice shot. Cleared
The middle.
Yeah, cleared the center guard, rolled the shooter out of play, and then also took that stone at the top of the 8-foot out of play. That stone at the top of the 8-foot, it could actually been one that Team Jentsch could have used to draw behind or tap up. Didn't get it out, but pushed it in behind the her own shot stone there, so you'll see it's basically out of play. The Team Jentsch really don't have anything to work with. They're going to have to try and throw another guard.
Feiner. 2.
Wechseln, der muss noch auf die Centerline, Leute.
Weiter, 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 weiter. Okay.
Good job. That's where they wanted the first one. So they'll peel this one away from those two in the house. They don't want to take any chance that it could go into the house and take their own out. A little bit of an outward motion there on the release. But I
And
think,
it might just hang. It looks like a miss.
ooh. As you can see, when she let that go, she just moved her hand a little bit outward.
With that kind of weight, not a lot going to happen.
So opportunity now for Team Jentsch to get one in behind that stone.
Aber nur das. Genau, das ist
Try and get one on the edge of the button. They want this to be as close to the button as they can, but fully covered.
gut. Immer noch wie eben.
So Danielle has been struggling a little bit with speed. Let's see if she can get things back on track here.
80, 85. Ja.
Der muss halt schon sein.
Ja.
She's mostly on the light side with her draws.
Länge. 4. Wechsel. Wechsel. Alles. Auf geht's. Go, go, go. Weiter, weiter, weiter. So weiter geht. Auf geht's. Ins
Does it
Haus.
have
Weiter,
enough
weiter,
legs?
weiter, weiter, weiter.
Needs to be shot. No, it comes up short.
Okay.
She's light again.
Hatte der jetzt?
92.
I think you'll see Team Wranå make a slight change now. They can't.
Deswegen, also
They
ich glaub
could
wirklich, wir
take
sind von
a
den
chance
Punkten
trying to
her
double peel those guards
brauchen
off,
mehr Grundlänge.
but with only one shot come from their opposition, I think they're going to try and beat them in and take the offensive route and draw around themselves to the top of the 4-foot.
Mer rätt liksom. Ja, man spelar mer lätt. Precis, typ som om den känns där, då håller vi ändå rent och är beredda liksom.
They're going to put this game away now, possibly score a 3
Noll och så håller vi den.
and put the game out of reach for Team Jentsch.
Känns som det är dags. Ja,
In my curling book, this is certainly the right call.
jag gillar halvvägs.
The chances of making the double peel are probably quite small, but making a nice draw, top of the 4-foot,
0.
better odds, and applies much more pressure to the opposition.
Hills it.
Ja, bra.
Bella Wranå.
Nästan bara borta.
Bak 4.
fairly wide out. It's got a lot of curling to do. She wants to get hidden.
Ska dra den då?
Lots of room past the guard.
She might have been a little heavy with this one, and that's probably the worst spot she could end up
Vad sa du?
if Jentsch can just tap that one a couple of centimeters and sit in front of it.
Jo, där
It's going to be very, very difficult for Team Wranå to even score.
Also halt quasi minimal tapless geschoben sind. Oder? Weil
To get shot stone, they do have to tap it a little bit.
She could play back forefoot and flop over and get behind those two guards too, just a little bit. Cover a piece of the button on the right hand side.
They have to be clear on which one they're actually playing.
Yeah, I think if you corner freeze it on the inside or something like that, it's an easy
Pick it out.
pick. Well, easy
There's
pick
enough
there.
room there. They could play back line weight and roll it over enough to get behind the two guards. I think that's the one they've chosen.
plus oder langsamer?
So this is probably a hack weight shot. She wants to hit about 3/4 of this stone. On the left as we're looking at it, and roll in behind. There's another guard further up on the center line. Roll in behind those two guards. That would force Wranå to duplicate that shot for a single point.
Den machen wir jetzt.
It needs to be quiet enough because it does have to curl a little bit past the guard.
Los.
So it has to be soft enough weight that it'll still have some curl. So probably back line to hack is all she's going to throw. If you threw normal takeout weight, it wouldn't have enough chance to curl and get the roll.
Plus 40! Oh, 40!
Oh!
Oh, det muss an die
So
Muss an die Center!
trying to make it curl now by brushing it
Über
on
die
that
Center,
side.
weiter!
And this is going to be wide
Weiter,
open
über
now.
die Center!
That was probably a little bit too much weight.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Yeah. So this leaves a relatively routine, if there is such a thing in curling, routine hit and stay for 2 points. There's no guards in play. You just have to make contact on the nose, so
Jag tror aldrig jag sett det
they know
riktigt.
this ice.
Men här kan jag ju kalla över och gå in ner.
They'll probably throw about,
Ja, 30, 20. Ja.
they've got a number signal for the speed they're throwing. Looks like they've chosen speed 2.
30, 20.
Ja.
Ja! Ja! Nog wat. Wow! Wow! Ja! 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 Wow!
Last rock here in the fifth end.
They're just cleaning. Looks to be on line.
And a
2
score
yellow points.
of 2 for Wranå. And that'll make it 7-1 after 5 ends of play. Certainly the Germans not really putting up any sort of resistance.
Nu har vi haft några missade.
Now they seem to be very struggling with the line and the ice, and perhaps some of that stems from technical issues with their slides, not sliding correctly and correcting on release. Makes it very difficult for the skip to read the ice.
75 ist Naturlänge. Also ich muss einfach diese Spanne haben, dass 80 ist mit Vision T-Line, 85 ist gerade noch so, 75 ist ohne alles. Das muss ich dann mit dazu.
Ja.
Weil so, ich meine, wenn ich 85 höre, dann muss ja drin sein, dass wenn ich einen Ticken langsamer spiele, dass wir den noch reinkriegen.
Ja, ich hatte 96, das war bei uns immer kurz vorm Haus mit Wischen, die ganze Zeit. Also das hast du ja auch noch anders
Aber ich denke, von meinen Hochzeiten, es ist langsamer als gestern.
Ist es auch.
Und diese Zeit, die mir heute angeht,
Väldigt tajt, tajt, tajt!
So as we were following a bit of the discussion there that Germans were having, trying to figure out what they were
Bra linje nu.
doing wrong,
Korten är kort. Okej, gå då.
the Swedish teams plays their first rock here in the 6th end with a very comfortable 7-1 lead.
Bra så bra. Vad är det? 90.
Another stone into a good position, fully in the 8-foot right on the center line.
I don't think that lead's missed a shot all game, so she
She's
certainly set the tone for the whole
Yep.
game.
She's not having any difficulty with the speed of the ice.
Not at all. And or line. The line's been really good too. So that's Fanny Sjoberg.
kannst,
So
du kannst.
we need a small miracle to get back into this.
I think it's actually going to need a big miracle.
Okay, big one.
So, weiter geht's. Go, go,
The
go.
lightning strike.
Definitely need to get 3.
Muss rüber.
And
Ganz die Lange. Ja, go, go, go.
I think you'll try and see Team Wranå keep this as open and clear as they possibly can.
Yeah, the chances were there, certainly in the early ends for the Germans to do something. They just didn't manage to execute
So
when required.
an option here is just to throw this stone through the house,
Langsam raus.
but they're actually going to put another stone in play.
Well, if you got your lead playing that well, it's probably okay to do.
Well, the only thing is putting another stone in play is just one more stone that your opposition can use against you. I think with a 6-point lead with 3 ends to go,
And as I said, how well she was playing, this one is not looking that well at all, actually.
no, this is, now if I was Daniela Jentsch, I wouldn't be brushing that, I'd just be keeping it. Yeah, there you are, nice back of the, she's going to play another corner guard.
First mistake that I've seen from.
I think she's got enough stones in play already to get 3. If she was to tap that yellow stone to the back of the 8-foot, Wranå would either hit it or peel the corner guard, and then you just come down and start making a series of freezes and taps, and you can get your 3 points that way. But sometimes this second corner guard will work. We'll see if it does.
Want to have them parallel. Not too bad.
Yeah, there's a opportunity to take both of
A
those,
little close together, right?
take both of those out of play. She probably wanted to have that one closer to the house or parallel, one of the two. But she's left it, so this is maybe a quarter stone on the top one, hit the back of the other one, and roll the shooter down into the house area or out of play.
And there's the double you were talking about.
You got the double, but she did leave her own in play.
Oder so. Ja.
This is a tough shot. She's trying to come around this stone at the top of the 8-foot.
Would you tap the one on the 8-foot back again?
You could tap the one in the 8-foot to the back left and roll behind the corner guard.
Yeah.
With, maybe hack weight, catch about a half of that stone with hack weight.
Mehr.
It would stay in the back of the 12-foot, 8-foot area, and your shooter go behind the guard. And then when they peel the guard, you freeze one of the stones at the back of the 8-foot.
Muss ins Haus auf.
I always try and tell skips, look for the easiest shot you can, not the toughest. If you want to increase the shooting of your players.
This is over curling, and it's
Over curling and light, and then it'd be a very, very good freeze on the top stone.
Also mir jetzt.
However, it does leave yellow sitting too still. I might just go peel the corner guard if I was
over the
wrong.
guard too, I think. Yeah.
Aber bei mir war
Guard that might come back and bite her later.
This is, she's going to, by trying to take this out, she's going to clear the top 2 and the shooter, which is going to leave a stone behind the tee line and a corner guard. I don't think that's really what she wants to do. If she was to peel the corner guard, then she knows Team Jentsch still has to make a play on that stone if they want to sit 2, and that would group them together for a double.
And if she gets it wrong, 2 yellows are gone. That red one's still sitting up top. No, she got enough of it.
Yep, so now there's a corner guard and a stone behind the tee line. Russia's really working this one for distance, trying to freeze on the back one.
Really see this team all game long. They've the Germans have been using the timing on the split timing. I always think that distracts a little bit from actually getting feel. As
We're
opposed
looking,
to
we're looking at a lot of the top teams now have actually thrown the stopwatches away and are using verbalizations to communicate speed and distance. We're trying to get some of our teams to do the same thing. I think a verbalization is better translated by the brain for feel as opposed to a number, which sometimes I think just bounces off. If you can relate the speed to the last stone the player threw, it's current in their mind. They throw it a meter heavier than your last one, or 2 meters heavier, or 2 meters slower. Or it's just like our home club. All those things cause the brain to call up a memory, a feeling memory, whereas opposed to saying it's 14 seconds hog to hog, or it's 3.8 seconds on interval.
It's all right to pull out the stopwatch when you think you may have a bad rock, just to double check it, but actually the feel is more important on the sliding, on the draw.
You really have to feel your slide, and if you can have your player relate back to their last one, it calls up the feel that they had, and then they just make an adjustment.
Because you could see the Germans getting a little wrapped up in the discussion on
the numbers.
On the numbers. There's a nice shot.
And most of them, they've been light this whole game. They just haven't got the feel. It's such an important part of curling is developing the feel. I always find the team with the best feel wins the game, not the team that hits the brush the best, the team with the best feel. If you can control the distance, you make a lot of curling shots. You don't have to be precise on the brush, but you do have to be precise on the distance control.
And there's a good shot.
Bra koll. Vilken var min banan nu då?
Det vet jag inte. Det ligger en på våran.
So they're attempting to go around this corner guard from the outside in, maybe perhaps thinking that the ice is a little fresher out here and not so worn down as the middle ice tends to get. Really need to get these ones buried, though. You know, if they have any chance of coming back in this game, they really need to get a couple of stones buried. Working hard for line. Well by the guard.
Weight seems to be okay.
Nice shot.
Yeah. Should be fully covered. Josephine Obermann.
Wranå thinks she can get this from the inside.
Well, that guard's fairly long, isn't it?
Yes, it's a long guard. And with quiet weight, there's a little more curl.
Let me see how long it is here, because our camera hasn't even picked it up yet.
There it is. Way out there by the... So there's lots of room to curl by the guard.
With curl like this, those guards are almost useless.
You'll see it's fully buried, but with the amount of curl, with a nice quiet back line to hack weight. She has to make some noise on this, though. Has to hit either the guard or the one in the house, otherwise it'll set up a score of 3.
Looking good out. Got half of it.
Nice controlled shot
Nice
there.
touch, yeah, very good.
Really good touch. See, she missed the guard actually by 5 or 6 centimeters. And even though the stone was completely covered, with that nice quiet speed, it curled past the guard and ended up hitting half the stone.
So the Wranå will move on to the B final here.
It appears.
Yes.
I heard the fat lady singing, although I've heard her kind of in the background clearing her throat.
Oh, using those old metaphors again, but that's showing your age.
Kein Traum mehr spielen, solange wir uns nicht einig sind über die Längen. Ich schieße jetzt ein Takeout und hoffe, dass wir fertig werden.
loser of this game will drop down into the C group.
You might have to go back on the ice fairly quickly, too.
It's had a back-to-back game, and you don't want to drop into the C now.
Weiter.
So you've gone from A final to B to C in one foul swoop.
And as they say, it's a see you later if you lose that one. And a hit and roll out, that's going to mean maximum of 1 point for Team Jentsch. And I'm pretty sure you'll see the gloves come off and the handshakes happening after her next shot.
Okay.
It's just a formality now, throwing these last 2 stones down the ice.
A lot of tight games going on out there. You can check out the scores on Curling Champions Tour website. Check out the scoreboard. There's other events that are listed on the scoreboard too. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Go to Curling Champions Tour Facebook and give us a like. Have you done that, Al?
I did that.
You did.
I did that.
Posting lots of good information on there.
Pressure's still working as hard as they were in the first end, even though they're probably pretty sure this game is over as well. They still want to make this shot perfect. Good focus.
Curling Champions Tour consists of the men's and women's Masters Series, the men's and women's Challenger Series, the mixed doubles series, and the European Junior Curling Tour.
So Daniela Jentsch's shot is important only psychologically. She does have to go down to the C event, and she will be playing another game probably fairly quickly. So I'm sure she'd like to finish with making her last shot and getting a good feel for what the speed is. You really don't want to be heading into your next game having a feel that you don't know what the ice is doing.
Last rock here in the 6th end, and that's probably all she wrote for the Germans.
So they want to make this one to go into the game with at least a good feeling of speed.
It's looking pretty good, actually. And looking like a fine shot. She'll be kicking herself that she hasn't made those a little earlier.
Yeah.
Score of 1 for the team from Füssen, Germany, and as we mentioned, the gloves will probably come off with a 5-point deficit and only 2 ends to go. And Team Sweden, really solid performance. The lead, very good game.
Lead had a super game, and Team Germany struggled most of the game with distance control and a little bit of ice reading and release, and never really got on track, never really set anything up, although they did have opportunities, never really got to set anything up.
So thank you very much, Al. There'll be next coverage at 5 o'clock. Check the YouTube channel to see who that match is. We won't know, obviously, because of these triple knockouts. We have to see who wins, who loses. We see the final score there, 7-2. Thanks for watching here from the International Bern Damen Cup. And we will see you hopefully in a couple hours.
Good afternoon from Bern.